Alright, YouTube Nation, today we're going to be taking another look at the defense in Madden NFL 25, kind of some things I want you guys to think about before Madden 25 drops, so that when it drops, you guys can have a nice thought process in your head, and when we jump into the game, we'll be good. Now, today what I'm going to talk about is, last couple of videos we've been talking about certain concepts defensively and stuff like that, and today I want to focus more on how to stop problem formations now. One of the things that I want you guys to do is, obviously we had our top 5 offensive formations in the game, and we're still going to do that, but I really want you to apply this to formations like this. And right here we're going to go to the ace close and the tight slots. Now this is a problem formation in Madden this year because if you take a look, once you press, if you call press coverage like a lot of times most Madden players will do, you see these corners are outside the the farthest outside receiver. So what you can do is you can streak these guys very easily and just pass through those streaks to the inside, basically just almost as if they're tight ends. Okay, so it's almost like ace. It's almost like the pat tool. It's the same concept from the pat tool drag. And you see if they're 2 men under, it's even worse. So if I'm in 2 men under and I streak again and Manningham, you're gonna see it's even worse against 2 men under. With the passing to the inside, it's very effective at about 30-yard dots at a time. So, obviously, one of the things that's most effective from this formation is the streaks, and that's what I wanted to talk about. When you're facing certain formations, what you want to start working on, what you want to start thinking about is how that formation can beat you. Now, this applies to every formation in the game, but more specifically, I want to focus on the harder-to-stop formations. So what you want to do is you want to take a look at this formation. You want to say, what's the power of this formation? What are you going to see most out of this? So what you're going to see most out of this is you're going to see streak, you're going to block a halfback, you're going to see zig, and then you're going to see another streak, or you're going to see a drag underneath. So this is your main setup. So the things that you got to watch out for, in my opinion, are the streaks, obviously. So what we want to do here is, like I said, we want to force them to pass through those streaks a certain way. You guys know that out of some of the other videos I've done on defense this year. So what I'm trying to accomplish here is to force them to pass through those streaks to the inside, so that I can user both of the streaks myself. I can guard 2 players with 1 person essentially. And what you're going to see here is this is what I'm talking about. Something like this, if this occurs, and then we'll just take a look at the instant replay. Now what you're going to see here, if we go in here, you're going to see that the outside passage streaks are going to be taken away. You see, we get defenders are in the way. Defenders are in the way as far as outside passing. That's taken away. We're fine. What I'm showing you here is, you see, I'm coming and showing them that I'm on that streak. It's that hold doors mentality I talked about in the first video of this. I'm showing them I'm on that streak, and then I go and I would dart to that other streak. And as soon as they see that I'm on this streak, they're usually throwing that. It's going to be about a 3-second gamble, and hopefully we can make it pay off. Eventually we will get a pick out of this. Sometimes we won't, and then you see we go back and forth. We just hold that middle so that our pressure can get in. Now, one of the things you're also going to see, like we saw the drag. Now, the drag is going to beat the zone coverage. So what we need to do is something like this. And you guys know I think that it's more effective out of this formation to leave the corners off coverage because, like I said, you don't want to get beat on those streaks. So what we can do is we can shade the coverage in, and now. What you're going to see, Kirkpatrick is going to get over on Manningham's streak. Hopefully, this is what we're trying to get to accomplish. So we're shading the coverage here, and again, we're using mock, and all we're really worried about now is the drag. So what we could do is we could take, maybe one of our players here and just focus on the drag. But here's what I wanted to showcase is if we stop the streaks, that's the main power. The drag is not necessarily the biggest part of this formation. So what we're going to do here is we're going to block the running back, because a lot of players are going to block the running back at an elite level. And we're going to use our mock up the middle. So what you're going to see is snap, I watched the streaks, and then I got on that drag. You see that drag is not going to get them very many yards. And the reason for that is because it's such a tender spot. Because look, The drag is there's a dude right on it. There's a dude right on that drag. Now, some people may throw that, some people may not. Once again, now look at the streaks, though. You see, if they try to throw to the pass lead inside streak to Manningham here, that deep blue zone is in the way. It's starting to come over. So now I can focus more on the right side of the field here and lock up the other streak and take the drag. Now, this is a simple way. This is something I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to focus on this because it's a different style of way to play defense. Like I said, I normally will just run my plays, but this is just kind of an example of adjustments, and this is what a lot of Madden players do. If you're a good Madden player, is what you're going to be learning how to do very well. Now, one thing we also know is that these, like I said, those streaks are problems. So what we can do is we can manually slide in our corners. Now, you see, we can manually slide these corners in. Now, this is also going to leave, again, we're usually in the middle at all times. And this is the main point of this is we have to make sure that this drag rope gets covered. So what we're going to do is we're going to man Kirkpatrick up on the drag. Because if you guys think about it, the drag's coming across the middle, Kirkpatrick will be right there. Now, obviously, what you're going to do now is you're going to put Mays in a deep blue zone to the left and shade the coverage out so in case they do any lob balls. Now, you're going to get double-sided pressure in this play. So even if they block a running back, you're going to be fine. All you're trying to take away now is the drag's covered. So what you're going to do is you're going to jump that angled route at first, and then you're going to go to the streaks. So you're showing streaks, and then jump on the angle route, and then bam, sack, boom. I mean, it's something that's going to happen very quick, and especially from under center. That's one of the main problems with this formation, in my opinion. And again, you could even base a line and then slide them in because, at least you guys are going to be at the same spot at all times. And, like I said, you want to man up on those inside dudes because they're not going to be on streaks. They're going to be on drags or slant outs or whatever. The outside dudes are who they're going to normally see. So what you want to do is you want to get them right up on the line here. Just a little bit to the outside is what I like to do. And you're going to see here, hopefully we get the press animation. And if we get the press animation, then that makes it all the better. Like I said, you're using the middle of the field. You see this dude is going to jump like he's going here. So if they throw a streak, it's going to be very hard to get those seams. All we have to worry about is the right side of the field, and we're just going to jump at the streak and then go back down on the angle route because we know the play. You see here, jump down the streak, go back to the angle route, and then there's a sack. Let's take a look at the instant replay to show you the coverage. And you're going to see here, one of the cool parts about this is you see we got that bump on the right side of the field for that streak. So now all we had to worry about was the underneath. And if we're on Xbox 360, we obviously are going to get that press on the left side as well. Anywho, moving on, you see they play the streak better when you slide them in manually. Take a look here. There's no really way to pass that streak. I got inside and outside approach on my dude. He can't throw that. He can't lob it up either because Taylor Mays is like 95 speed. He'll catch up with him. So that's taken away. And then when you take a look at the drag here, the drag taken away because you know why? Yeah, maybe that snap throw for maybe 2 yards, but that's not their first read. And I have a dude coming down on the drag, as you see, coming down on the drag right there. And my user player's over there too. Why would they throw at a user player? So you see just a ton of congestion over here. They're not going to want to take this on. The press gives us enough time. And if we take a look here, let's show you. By the time he's getting hit, so let's go here, right to there. That point, you see, this is what he sees. Smothered. Taken away by good user control. Nothing there. If he throws these two routes, they're either getting intercepted or they're going to be stopped for 3 yards. This streak not happening. There is nothing he can really do about this pressure. And that's the point. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. Mainly, that's kind of the whole purpose of this video. It's not to show you how to stop this formation, even though we did. It's to show you how to make adjustments. Figure out what's the strength of the formation. What are they trying to do? What is the power of the formation? This is something that S. Gibbs actually taught me, and I've never turned back since, is you have to know what's popular out of the formations. I think this is something he did in Madden 12. And like I said, you move these guys down, and when you move them down like this, and then man up on that side, boom, got it. And it's not a tough setup because the blitz is already set up for you. All you have to do is slide your dudes in. So it's fairly simple as far as setup goes, and the result is there's just not really a good place to go. And again, like I said, you can do this out of multiple formations. It doesn't have to be 4-3 under edge thing. It doesn't have to be for this one formation. This is about finding out what is the strength. What is the strength of the iForm Pro? Let's just show you here. The strength of the iForm Pro is the running outside off tackle right, as well as running left, plus maybe some user catches. But the main strength of the let's just take a look here. Of the iForm Pro, if we look at it, is you've got the, let's just take the zone. So the zone runs, you have the runs. Obviously that's the main point of an iForm. So you see these quick passes, these audibles, plays that they have to work with. So you see the main route you're going to see is corner routes. Well, another thing you're also probably going to see is a created curl flats concept by putting running backs on swing passes. So how can we stop this? Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We can send edge sting. We don't have to do that. But let's just show you how to will punch street sting. So we just do this, and then yellow the corners on the outside. Where are they going to beat you? Where are they going to beat you? Over top? They're not going to have time to go over top. You're going to be taking the middle of the way with, and you see, you could shade. Like, you could put Kirkpatrick on the deep third on the right side. You could also put him in the deep third on the left side. It's just a matter of where you want to put him. I like to shade him to the left when I do this tactic. User the middle of the field. Tight end's not going anywhere because I got user. If he goes to corner or out routes, that's picked. Let's show you here. So you see, snap the ball. Okay, I can't even get the ball off. Bam. It's a concept. It's a way to play defense that the best of the best are going to do. If you're having trouble with bunch, figure out the strength of bunch. The strength of bunch is the fact that you can generate natural picks and reps to beat man. How do you slow down the bunch? You put the cornerback in a yellow on the left side of the field. You send edge sting, the setup that I just showed you earlier, and then you user the bunch. You user the bunch and you use the press. Make sure you guys can get some press, and then just there's no time. And that's one way to stop bunch. And how to stop spread curl flats. Well, you put the corners in yellows and you man up the inside guys. It's stuff like that, guys, that is going to make you a 10 times better player. Is your adjustments and your ability to adjust on the fly. You got to get in the lab. You got to figure out, what stop out routes. Oh, yellows stop out routes. Okay, well, if I want to stop an out route, I'm putting a dude in the yellow. If I want to stop flats, I'm going to put the dude in a light blue zone. If I want to stop streaks, I'm going to user them. A lot of times, I think that's the best way to stop streaks is to just user them or call Michael across 3. But, guys, this is what I'm saying, and this is what I want you to get, is no matter what play it is, there's always a way to stop it. But no matter how you stop it, you'll always give up something. Now, this is a play, there's a 2-part to that. Like I said, if you want to stop ace close, there's a way to do it. But the issue is becoming when they're no huddling, it's a gambling situation, and the speed at which these tournament-style offenses move make it difficult to play defense. But you can stop it. You just have to work. You have to work on your adjustments. You have to work on your stuff. I would recommend going through in the lab and saying, okay, so about midway through, when you're starting to really prepare for tournaments, really prepare for the really hardcore season of Madden, you want to get in the lab, and you want to basically just run your defenses against the bunch, against the spread, against the tight, against whatever setup, whatever plays are popular at that time. And you want to figure out where you're weak on that, and then you want to fix that when you're playing. So that's the key, guys. You got to get in the lab, you got to work. It takes time. You have to know what the offense is going to do before they do it. That gives you your advantage. The one advantage that a defense has that an offense doesn't have is the defense can not only predict what the offense is going to do because their computer ran routes, and the defense also has a user play on the field. Use those 2 strengths. You don't get many strengths defensively. Use those 2 strengths to lock up. Thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure to leave a like rating below. Also, follow me on Twitter and follow my blog. I talk about a lot about stuff like this every morning in the blog. So make sure you're doing that stuff. And I promise you guys, you will be better players in Madden NFL 25 and NCAA 14. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.